Good morning, guys. MWUSA Season 5, Episode 14. It is Friday morning, and you know what that means. Time to go to the office. We're going to go swipe our card, let the facial recognition see us, and then go out the back door where the facial recognition does not see us. We're still going to do our work. We're still going to keep up with everything, so all our work will still be done, but we'll have a little bit more time to make some EV, expected value. Today, like I said, being Friday, is another long day, including I might have another long sidebar from our main casinos that we're going to go to. So, still working on this side project, which hasn't yielded much yet, but we'll need to go take care of some stuff for that tonight. So it probably will mean a late night tonight, probably will mean at least probably a 14-hour day today, including doing our work. So last night had some trouble with the furnace keeping up with the temperatures outside, and it kept on turning off. I think it was overheating because it was working nonstop. The day before it had worked for 8 hours, and then yesterday it worked for 23 hours and 45 minutes. So I had an idea this morning. When we first got it and it was having issues, we took the side off and it allowed more airflow. I think that might be the problem, because my wife thinks it gets too hot in the back rooms of the house, so she was blocking some vents. I think that's a mistake. So if this works, we're going to unblock those vents, and hopefully that's what the issue is. Just not enough airflow going through. It's getting really hot in the furnace, causing it to turn off because it's getting too hot and it wants to cool off. But the temperature in the house got down to 65 last night, which for us is cool. We like to keep it between 70 and 71 if possible. So I took that side off, and if that works, then problem will be solved tonight. Yesterday was a very cold day, all day long. We left home in the snow. The snow got worse, and it got worse, and then it was really nasty roads, accidents everywhere. We got to our destination, and then started heading back, and it started improving more and more and more. And by the time we got home, there's no snow at all. But where we were all day had about 4 inches of snow. So kind of crazy within just a few hundred miles how much different it can be. So right now we're heading to the office. One thing I was just thinking, but it's not going to work out, is if I did my route backwards today, it would save me a lot of time, because right now heading toward the office is actually further away from my destination. So every mile I drive this way is really 2 miles, because I got to drive back the other way. But unfortunately, I can't go to certain places at certain times, so that's not going to work. And for the project that I'm working on, it has to be in the evening, so I can't get there right now and get it done. So, unfortunately. So, let's head out to the office right now. It's a nice day right now, not too bad, 24 degrees right now. Cloudy skies, dry roads, so all that part is not terrible. Feels like 7 degrees outside right now. A lot of snow is expected to come in today, especially in the areas that I'm going to. And accumulation is not that much. It'll be less than an inch of snow, but it should make the drive nice and nasty. Anyway, all right, let's get to work, and I'll be back to update you. All right, guys, I am back. So I just wanted to give you an update here about what's going on. I went to work, scanned in, did all my stuff, and left. A couple hours later, almost 3 hours later, had a team meeting, and unfortunately the guy 2 cubicles away from me is in the office today, so I might have to start trading Wednesdays and Fridays back and forth, and then just we'll see what happens here. I may talk to him also and say, hey, were you here Friday? Because I thought I saw you here. What days do you come in? And maybe Wednesday will be the day that I scan from now on, if nobody comes in on that day. So, or I may actually have to start working that day, which I would hate, but we'll do what we have to do. Another option would be to scan in twice, like on a Wednesday and Thursday, or Thursday and Friday, and say I worked a half day each day or something like that. I don't know yet, but those are all options. Still about an hour away from our first stop, and my furnace is still having an issue here, keeping up. So I'm having a friend of mine who works in heating and air go take a look at it. Pretty sure I know the issue, and the guy who installed it didn't believe me, but I'm going to have this guy check on it. And what I think it is, it's a gas furnace, and I think that the pipe that goes outside is not big enough, and it's filling up with gas and shutting it down, and then it's clearing out, dissipating, and then starting back up. And normally you wouldn't notice it. If it's like 32 degrees or above, it's not going to run that much, so you wouldn't have noticed it. But when it gets to 0 and 5 degrees and stuff like that, and it's running constantly, then you're going to notice it, because it's not going to keep up. So we'll see what happens with that. But right now, heading to our first stop, hopefully, and we'll be there soon. All right, guys, finally I am at the casino, just pulling in to park, and man, I'm ready to go. I got to go to the bathroom first, though. That was a long drive, a 1-hour meeting in the car. I mean, left home early, had to go to work, had to leave work, go back the other direction. It was a long day already. Let's get in there. I'm ready to go. I'm excited. I've got energy, and hopefully we have some good variants. I'll be back. All right, guys, I am back, and oh man, I stretched out that wire there. Shouldn't have done that. So back in the car here. I haven't been in there too long, but I do have another meeting to attend to. I'm not sure I really care that much about it. I'm on there because I have knowledge of the situation, but I probably won't be called upon. So the question becomes, do I get into the meeting or not? And if I do I walk into a casino while I'm in the meeting? Yeah, see? You didn't think about that one, did you? So I'm thinking about doing that. But actually had a decent time in there, played a little bit of blackjack. My one guy who knows who I am had just left the pit to do a break for another pit boss, and I had a little bit of time to play. Sat down, played, had some good variants real quick, and left on a negative count, plus $500 Dollarinos, so plus a quick $500. I also, when I first walked in, had some decent variants on a machine. This machine was like $7.50 or something like that a spin, and hit for a quick 263 on that one. Walked around and probably looked at 50 machines, and none of them had any kind of plays on them. So moved on and saw a friend of mine, talked to him for a minute. He told me this place has been resetting machines because they can't get the tax thing right. And on a lot of these machines, it's resetting them to default levels, which is not good on a bunch of them, because a lot of them have been played and they're on their way to being positive EV plays. And a lot of these, when they reset it, it resets everything and you lose that progression. So a little bit upset about that, but what can I do about it? I mean, they're stealing from people by doing that. They don't realize it, but that's money that's there that they're not going to have to give up, because that progression is not there anymore. So not happy about that. Saw a lot of that yesterday. Anyway, my friend told me that they had reset this machine and there were a couple levels that were looking good. So I said, yeah, I'll play it with you. There was a 75-cent and a $3.75 level. We played both of those, and he put in 100. I gave him 100. He's like, that's all right. We settle up after, and within 5 minutes, we were ahead $298. So that's $149 each. So altogether, I ended ahead $412 on the slots. I ended ahead $500 on the blackjack, which puts me ahead $912 kind of early on in the day, which is good because I've got so many places to go. Next place I'm going to go to, I don't know if I can get in and out fast enough. I don't know if I should even get into the meeting. I'm still deciding, but hopefully go to the next place here, make a couple hundred at least, then we'll go get some lunch, and then we got a 4-hour drive to our next spot, and we'll see what happens there. So again, that's that project I'm working on the side. That's way out of the way for me. There might be a way to do it more locally, but if I do, I'm risking a lot because I was actually told to my face not to go back to this place. Well, actually, I was told you're going to have to leave, but no one ever said don't come back, obviously, but I get the gist of what they were saying. But if I'm doing this other kind of play, I don't know if they would notice or not. I just don't want to have that conflict. I have to park down the street. I have to pay to park. I have to walk in the snow. Like this city where I am right now, it's got to be 6 inches of snow on the ground, and I hear there's more coming today. So where I'm living is not far from here, and not necessarily south of here either. It's kind of goofy, and there's no snow. So anyway, let's see what happens at this casino, and I may or may not hop on this meeting. I'm also waiting for my friend to call me about the furnace, and I'll have to take that call too. So that's what's going on right now, and I'll be back to update you soon. Alright guys, I am back. It was a very frustrating experience. Pretty much got it in good every time and got paid out terribly every time. Was involved for quite a bit. Was involved almost $2,000 at one point, and just could not get over the hump. And whoops, I'm trying to log into my work computer here. Ended my session just barely ahead, but it was a fight, and really the way it was going, I didn't think I would ever come back. Ended ahead $58, and was in there for a really long time. At this point, I don't think that I can go to that other place that's like 4 hours plus from here and get home at a decent time. It's already getting late. So I think I'm going to go back to the casino I came from before I came here and head home back that direction, which is terrible because I really want to take care of this other stuff today, but it's not going to happen. So hopefully we do better at this next stop. Sometimes it's just agonizing, and all the people that I saw in there that knew me, some of them were happy to see me, some of them were like unsure if I'm supposed to be there or not, and you're facing all that fear of what's going to happen, what's around the corner, what are they going to say. On top of that, you're having bad luck with good plays, and just doesn't feel good. So it feels kind of gross, honestly. So all right, right now it's starting to snow, so the bad weather is here that they said was coming, and I'm still in town, which I shouldn't have been. Man, just wasted all that time for nothing, and now I'm facing weather problems, time problems, not being able to go to a place I want to go. It's just very annoying. So all right, well, let's move on to the next spot here, and hopefully something good happens. I'll be back. All right, guys, I am back. So yeah, my frustration is still there. I actually made money, but I made bad decisions while I was in there, and I'm not gonna reward myself for making bad decisions. So I'm gonna tell you what happened, what I did, and how much I ended up, and you can decide if I'm right or not on this one. So I went in and I was frustrated already, and I went in with a bad attitude. I went in with an aggressive attitude that I'm going to win a bunch of money right now. I don't care, all this stuff, even things out, even though I didn't lose, I'm playing things the way I should, and I'm not doing anything wrong, but I still went in there with this bad attitude, and I don't know where it came from. I really don't know. Uh, I don't know. So part of it too is I'm going to miss this other play now in another city, and it's just impossible. It's impossible to go there. It's just miss out on making a play because I was in this area too long, and now it's like a winter storm. Like literally, I'm in the middle of a city, and the car in front of me is 100 feet in front of me, and I'm doing 40 on the highway. Pretty bad. And being delayed all this time hurt me even more because now I'm delayed and the storm came in, and I'm not going to play over there over a few bucks. So very upset with myself. But I went into this place looking around, and I see more people checking machines, more people everywhere. And I even see a guy who I think is about to count cards because he's acting awfully suspicious. Let's see. He's a young guy. He's wearing a hoodie. He's got chips in his hand, and he's got one of those bags that everybody carries their money in, which I'm an old guy, so it still looks like a purse to me. No matter how cool you think you are and how much money you paid for your stupid purse, it's still a purse in my opinion, so sorry. But so he's got one of those strapped to him. He's got a sweatshirt with a, whatever, and he's got the hoodie pulled over, and he got chips in his hand, and he's walking around, and he's about 21 and 5 days. Like, he just turned 21. And I saw him, and he looked at me. I looked in his eyes. He looked in my eyes, and I gave him this disgusted look, and he just walked on. You see, I don't know. I don't know if he was or not, but he knew this is not the table to sit down on. But anyway, I sat down at the first table. Actually, I made a play before that, which actually technically was not a play. Should not have been a play. I played it too early, and it was an aggressive play, and I ended up winning $901 on it. I'm not going to count that toward my winnings. I'm going to put that on a separate chart under stuff I shouldn't have played, and that was a stupid move, and I shouldn't have done that. I did play high limit blackjack, and I mean, when you hear this whole thing, you're gonna think, why didn't you just keep it in there? Because you needed to have it in there. Played high limit blackjack and ended up ahead $100. So that wasn't that much better. I had a frustrated other player, but it was the beginning of a shoe, and that was the only table that had, it was a new shoe, and it was only one player. The other tables were very busy. Anyway, I ended up asking, the first hand had been played, the count was neutral still. I asked him if he minded if I sit down. He said he didn't mind. And here's what our hands were: 14 and 16 against a 10, 17 and 18 against a 9. It was like 12 and 14 against a 5. We're like, oh gosh, these are the ugly hands, Now I'm on a bridge on a highway that has not been cleaned, with people driving very quickly behind me. It's a very long bridge, and I see police vehicles down at the bottom of the bridge where people went off the road. So screw these guys. I'm not going to speed on this and get myself screwed up on a new car. Anyway, this guy is gonna, half of driving is like avoiding crazy people. Anyway, I ended up ahead $100 on that blackjack table. Walked around, looked at slots, found nothing else. Walked around some more, went to a disgusting area where there's trash everywhere and people's stuff is everywhere. There's stuff on the floor. It's like, don't you guys have any pride at all, And there was a casino in this area about 3 years ago, and I still remember it. I went to that casino 3 days in a row, and I sat at the same seat, and the same trash was in the ashtray for 3 days. Who is this waitress? Who are these people that clean at night? Who are these players that don't ask to remove the trash? I mean, I didn't, but I'm trying to keep a low profile. Who are these pit bosses that don't clean up? And I remember during COVID having like a certain mask in the same spot on the floor for 2 or 3 days also. It's just, some of these things just stand out. But I hate disgusting areas. Casinos are already gross. The people are gross. They go to the bathroom. They don't wash their hands. They're just disgusting people. Anyway, I sit down at this table. It's a $25 table. Sit down, start playing. It was the beginning of a shoe. The shoe hadn't started yet. The lady was just finishing up a hand, and the cut card was already out. I sit down, and she throws a cut card to me, so that tells me a lot. Tells me she's not doing well. And so I cut it, and we start playing, and the count's going negative and negative and negative and negative. I'm like, I am trying to make money here. I'm already frustrated, and it's going more and more and more and more and more and more and more negative. And I ended up just getting up and leaving. Ahead another $100, so 100 and 100. And there you go. Some driver assist systems cannot operate. Clean the area shown. It's like maybe they should have better shields for these sensors on these cars. I mean, give me a break. This is twice in a week. I've only had this car for 10 days. And so I wanted to go cash out, but I had so many chips. I hadn't colored anything up. And by the way, they put me in for winning the wrong amount, which is whatever. I don't care. Because earlier they put me in for the wrong amount, and they underestimated me by a bunch. So I want to go cash out, but I've got quarters, I got $100 chips, I got everything in my pocket. So I thought, what's the best way to do this? I go to the poker room, to the room where they play pot limit, because they've seen my face in there a lot, and I grab a rack. I put the chips in a rack, and I even had a dollar chip in my pocket, and I put that in the rack, and I went to the cashier. It looked like I just played 3-3, and they cashed me out with no issue. Now, generally, if I'm going to go to that cashier with $2,000, $3,000, whatever, then they're going to ask me, some questions. Oh, did you play back here? What were you doing? So that worked out fine. And actually, the cashier was like really nice. She could tell I was frustrated, and she was very nice to me, which you don't know how much I appreciate that stuff. When people are nice to you, and they're just decent people. And then I get in the elevator, and the lady in the elevator was super nice to me too. Someone got in after us and got out before us, and we had a nice little chat, and she was so nice, and such a breath of fresh air. And so I felt a little bit better when I was leaving. So anyway, right now I'm gonna go get some food because I haven't eaten, and the sun's gonna be setting soon. So let's go get some food and decide what to do next, and I'll be back. Alright guys, I am back. See, you never know what's gonna happen. I did the right thing by leaving that casino. I was gonna go in there and just try to slaughter them, just try to hit them for 5,000 or 6,000, and who knows what would have happened. I may have succeeded, I may have lost a lot, but I wasn't in the right frame of mind. And I met a few nice people on the way out. It settled me down. I go to this grocery store to pick up some food, and I go to this deli area. They have this hot steak that's like chopped up, not chopped steak, but like sliced, and they make a plate for you with some vegetables and some pickles and all this stuff. And the lady said, why don't you have a jacket on? I'm like, I'm in and out of the car. I'm driving about 10 hours today. She's like, you're going to get sick. You got to make sure you wear a jacket. I said, you're right. What am I going to say? I said, you're right. And she was looking out for me. They were very nice. But I got a nice big plate, about a pound of meat with all the sides and everything like that for $14. I think that's a bargain. I mean, McDonald's is $10. When's the last time I told you I went to McDonald's? 2 years ago? I don't go there anymore. It's just ridiculous. When prices get that high for things like that, you're better off making it yourself or going to a sit-down place or a decent carry-out. Like I just went to, and I go to this place all the time. And you get better food for a lower price. It's not all salt. So anyway, I just thought about how blessed I was to have 3 people back to back worrying about me. But anyway, I did decide I am going to drive the 4 hours in the snow to the next spot, and it'll be dark here pretty soon. and we're just going to take it easy. We'll get there. Traffic's backed up. I see the time already going up on the map, which is okay. And we're going to go do the thing that we were going to do, and just, we'll be fine. So that's what's happening right now. We got a 4-hour drive ahead of us, and I'll probably stop for fuel here in a little bit, and I'll be back to update you. All right, guys, the day continues. I just stopped for fuel. For one thing, I didn't really need fuel. I still had about half a tank, but I stopped anyway because I was out of wiper fluid. And I'm like, I've only had this car for like 10 days. How could I be out of wiper fluid? Well, I get the wiper fluid, and I go to put it in the car. And I remember my old car, and I was going to jump the car with my daughter's car. And I couldn't figure out how to get the hood open because I got her a similar car to this one. And I just saw a YouTube video finally about how to open the hood, and that took me 5 minutes to figure out. I had my whole hand in there searching around, couldn't find where to open it, but kind of ridiculous sometimes how they put things together. Well, then the ridiculousness continued because you could only fit less than half a gallon of wiper fluid in these things. What is the point of that? There isn't enough room in there for you to have a whole gallon? Give me a break. So definitely need to make sure I have plenty of wiper fluid in the car. But like previous cars, in fact, my old Accord, I could put a whole gallon. There'd be like 5% of it left, and I could put the whole gallon in there. But anyway, I got fuel pretty cheap, and windshield is clean, and we're continuing on our trip. We're still, I don't know how far, an hour and 50 minutes away from our next stop. I'll be back. All right, guys, I am back. So accomplished some stuff on the side project that I was doing, and made another $38. So nothing too exceptional. I was in there for about an hour. It's okay, not great, but I was on my way home anyway. Made this stop, made a little bit of money, and the other project too. So that's all okay, I guess. So right now we're gonna head toward home. We can do some segments. What did you eat today, MW? So I got this, I think I told you, got this steak chopped up, like sliced, with some nice sauce on there and some vegetables on the side, some pickles and things like that. That was delicious. I give that a 10 on a scale of 2 through ace. And I thought it would hurt my stomach because it's greasy a little bit, but did not hurt me at all. Felt great after it. And what did you tip today, MW? Well, I mean, I think I had, 3 sessions of blackjack? Maybe 4, something like that. And had some frustrations, some ups and downs, but mainly wasn't too bad. So overall, with all those sessions, I tipped a total of $0. You guessed it. And what did you learn today, MW? I mean, man, I got to keep working on my temper. I don't know why I've been like this lately. Maybe I've been just complacent. Maybe not. Maybe I just, I've had it too good for too long, and I'm just getting a little agitated that I can't go as many places. Although things are kind of opening up for me. I'm starting to go back into some places right now that I had some issues. So there's always some possibilities there. So that's what I learned, is I need to be a little bit more patient. Work-wise, I have some stuff to do. Monday is a day off. I'm probably going to go somewhere Monday. I don't know how busy it'll be. I'm half considering maybe taking the wife and one or more of the kids to Canada Monday, if she wants to, or Sunday night into Monday. I don't know. Sunday afternoon, come back Monday afternoon. That wouldn't be so bad. So I'm going to talk to her about that, and I'll catch up with you guys. I'll probably be doing an episode no matter what on Sunday. If everybody is with me, obviously the segments are going to be kind of skewed. They're going to be a brief introduction, a lot of time in the casino when I'm away from the family, and then brief end. But I've got to do it that way since my kids aren't really old enough to know what I'm doing yet. So yeah, man, I still have another 100 miles to get home. It's a long journey. It was dark halfway between my last casino and this casino. But, you know, what are you going to do? So I'm just going to sit back, enjoy the ride. And right now it went from about 6 inches of snow on the ground to it's raining. So the furnace at home is in good shape. Turns out that it was, the way that it was programmed was to be too hot. And it was basically shutting down to protect itself. So my friend lowered the temperature on it and increased the blower on it so that the hot air doesn't stay in the furnace, and it warmed up from like 64 to 70 in like an hour and a half, which is unbelievable. So I mean, it used to take a day to do that when it was hot, cold outside. So much better. We'll see how it goes the next few weeks on that. And he did tell me eventually I do need a new one. The guy who put this one in did a terrible job, and although it's not that old, I may need a new one soon. And I said, okay, well, if it comes to it, we'll do that. Right now we got to redo the kitchen. We got new appliances and stuff coming in. We got all kinds of stuff going on, bills to pay, Christmas stuff going on, you know, being wrapped up and stuff, returning stuff. One of my kids got an iPad and said, oh, I don't want an iPad. Can you believe that? Crazy. But, you know, on the good side, they all seem to like the 3D printer now, where all of them were like, oh, it's just for that one, and, you know, we don't even want to use it, it's a waste. Now they're all lining up, getting projects ready to print on there, and they're all enjoying it. So in fact, I'm almost out of one of the colors of filament, and each of the colors I got 1 kilogram of filament. So 1 kilogram is a lot, but we've made a lot of projects. The weird thing is, on the 3D printer, when it before it prints a project, it spits out the old color. Even if it's the color it needs to use, it spits out a portion of it, so you kind of waste it. And one of my kids saw a YouTube video about how to change that so that it does a side project with that extra filament. So you'll have a side project that's like a bunch of different colors together, but it'll actually be building something with that instead of throwing that filament away. So we'll work on that. Other than that, it was a pretty okay day, I guess. I stopped to get fuel, and they were out of wiper fluid, and I was at that gas station days ago, and they had so many boxes of wiper fluid inside and outside, and they were all gone. Luckily, there was a truck stop across the street, and I stopped there and I got some. But yeah, it's been a long week. I have no idea how we did this week. I think we did good, but I'm exhausted. I'm going to get home and get some rest. Tomorrow, day of rest, and I'll be back with you Sunday evening or afternoon. If you have any questions or comments, my email is mwusa21@gmail.com, mwusa21@gmail.com. See you next time.